Kornacki.
Steve Kornacki, who got the big board and the khakis.
Part human calculator, part Energizer bunny.
He is a national treasure.
He is a national treasure. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Kornacki is back in the building. And Steve, we know that there's a ton of playoff implications, so I'll let you get right to it with your big board that's bigger than anyone else's board.
Maria, great to be back here for the playoff
Right.
chase and shakeups in two top divisions today in the AFC. Starting in the North, the Steelers, reports of their demise greatly exaggerated with that win. 2/3 chance now that the Steelers win the AFC North. The Ravens now a game behind. The problem, they will get a crack at the Steelers week 18. The problem for the Ravens, though, between now and then, they got to play the Patriots. They got to go into Lambeau and play the Packers. That is a tough schedule for the Ravens to even get to that week 18 with a shot still. In the AFC South, the Jaguars rolling over the Colts. For the Colts now, 3 straight losses. They may be out the quarterback. Next week, they go to Seattle, the start of what is the second toughest closing stretch of games of any team in the league for the Colts. Meanwhile, the Jaguars now 68% probability to win the division. The gap here, these numbers don't add up to 100 or anywhere close. Keep in mind the team playing tonight, the Houston Texans, right now a 25% chance to win this division. And if they can go into Kansas City and win, that number is going to be closer to 40%. We'll have a real fight in our hands between those two teams.
Joined now by Steve Kornacki, and let's get into the playoff implications of some division games that we watched this week. And let's start in the NFC North and the Packers getting a big win, Steve.
Huge for the Packers, 4 straight wins. They go ahead of Chicago in the division, and now just a half a game behind the Rams and Seattle for that #1 seed in the NFC.
Yeah, meanwhile, it was the Steelers walking away with the victory on the road against the Ravens. What does it mean?
Well, the Ravens are going to get another shot at the Steelers week 18, but between now and then, they got to play the Patriots and they got to go to Lambeau. Tough schedule for Baltimore.
Yeah, and then the Jaguars doing what they do when the Colts come to town. They get a victory.
In the AFC South now, it's the Jags in the driver's seat. But keep in mind the team we're going to see tonight, Houston, if they win, they got a 25% shot in this division too.
Colts haven't won in Jacksonville since 2014. How about that? All right, we'll have an update on Daniel Jones. Also, we saw him leave this game with an Achilles injury. So let's bring back in Steve Kornacki ahead of our game tonight. And Steve, what does that mean for our game?
Yeah, let's talk about stakes, Maria. So if the Texans get the win tonight, they will move into that top 7. And our model gives them then a 92% chance of staying there and making the playoffs. If the Chiefs win tonight, they're up to 61% to make the playoffs, and that would go up further to 66 if the Chargers lose tomorrow night, Monday night, against the Eagles. Now, the flip side, if the Texans lose, they still have a slightly better than even chance of making the playoffs. Why? They're going to play the Colts. They're going to play the Chargers, teams they're trying to catch in that situation to make the playoffs. A future still in front of them potentially for the Texans. But the Chiefs, with a loss, can you believe it? It would be December. They'd have just a 16% chance of making the playoffs. They haven't had a situation like that since 2014, last time they missed them.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.